Hello, everyone. Welcome to day number 10, 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. Okay, so today's challenge or question was uh, what was your most impactful tarot moment of 2016? And yes, I had one. Actually, I had two. So I'm going to share two stories with you. These were both readings that I did for clients. I'm not going to mention any names or whereabouts or whens, but I'll kind of share the story and why they were so impactful to me. One was a much more negative experience, that's why it stands out, and the other was really positive, and that's why it stands out to me. So I'll start with the more negative one first. Get the bad out of the way first. It was a very awkward moment for me. So here we go. So I had this woman come to see me for a reading. She wanted to know if she would find love again. She explained to me that she had two big relationships in her life that both ended in divorce, and she was getting older and wanted to know if there was that person out there for her that might be a kind of more lasting love. So I started, as I always do with readings, I get my clients to draw one oracle card, and she pulled out a card called Autumn Splendor. Now this card, the meaning of this card was, it's good to be proud of your accomplishments and proud of yourself, but you might want to dial it back just a wee bit because you're starting to put people off with either bringing too much attention to yourself or only focusing on yourself or bringing up whatever it is that you're so proud of over and over again, and yeah, tone it down just a wee bit. Learn to be a little bit more modest, and you'll have a much more welcoming reception. So that was card number one. That was the very first card I drew for her. So then I addressed her question. Okay, well, is there love in her future? And so the answer the card said was yes. Of course, there's opportunities out there, but, and there was a but I pulled the Six of Wands. And so here's a figure kind of standing up on a pedestal, kind of, waving to the crowd like he's the center of attention, the winner, the victor, the one everyone's celebrating. I said, yes, but this issue of kind of being the center or making it about you, or always having to win all the time. There's something, about that part of your personality that is going to be an obstacle. It's going to hold you back. And she said, well, that doesn't sound like me. I don't do those things. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So that message came up twice, and I said, okay, let's start over. If you feel like this doesn't sound like you at all, I'm totally way off, let's start over. I don't normally do that, but for her, she just was like, no, it's not true. So I pulled more cards for her. And one of the cards I drew was the Queen of Pentacles. And so I can't remember why I drew it, but I remember describing her personality. The Queen was supposed to be her. And so I'm going, okay, well, the Queen is someone who, she's in touch with nature. She loves children. She loves cooking. She loves gardening. She loves being outdoors. She loves having a lot of people around her that she could share her abundance with. And this woman went, no, that's not me at all. I don't like kids. I don't like going outside. I don't garden. I don't cook. I don't host parties. That is not me at all. okay. So I took another look at the queen, and what was drawn to my attention first was this kind of like halo or shining star above her head. And I was like, okay, well, if you're not really an earth goddess, then maybe you're someone who has a lot of confidence, who's very proud of herself and sure of herself, and likes the finer things in life. She is drawn to luxuries, and she likes, furs and diamonds and fancy, that. And she says, oh, okay, that's more like me. So I said, okay, all right, there you are. And that moment kind of changed how I look at the Queen of Pentacles. I always saw her more as this Earth Mother, and for the first time after that reading, she became kind of this woman who enjoys the finer things. And so she's like, yeah, okay, that's more like me. So I'm like, okay, good. And then came this but again, and I drew the Queen of Wands reversed. This is another character who likes lavish things. She likes to be the center of attention. She is a little bit full of herself. And so the same message came up again. And this woman is like, no, I don't do that. I don't really see myself as conceited. And I was like, all right. So I drew one more card to clarify, just as a clarifier, to kind of give me more insight into the Queen of Wands. And this guy comes storming in on his fiery steed like he's stolen the show, saying, look at me, look at how good looking and brave and awesome I am. And I just went like this. I was just like, I am so sorry. The cards won't give me any other message. I'm not even sure where to go from here. And I think I even said to her, like, I don't know you, and I feel like I'm judging you as this arrogant, self-centered person, and you keep telling me that you're not like that, and I'm so conflicted, do I believe her or do I believe the cards? And I was just sweating. I just felt so bad and so awkward. I didn't even want to take her money. After that card, I was like, that's the message. And yeah, she was like, Kate, thank you. And just kind of gave me money in silence. And I stood up and was like, whew. Like, yeah, it was very awkward. And I still to this day, that sticks with me, how I'm just like accusing someone of having a bad personality. And yeah, it wasn't a pleasant experience. I'll just say that. So I hope that the cards were not just being mean and nasty. I hope that maybe she didn't get the message she wanted, but maybe it was one she needed. I hope, but I'm probably never gonna see her again. So on to a better experience. This is the second reading that stood out to me in 2016. And it was a man who came to see me. He had just, like, I think within the last week, lost his wife. She had died unexpectedly, and he was still grieving. Like, you could see he was still very emotional and shaken up, and very much still in mourning. So he came to see me for a reading, and he mentioned, he tells me about his wife and how he's just looking for ways to get through it. And I said, okay, let's see what comes up. And I couldn't believe the cards that came up. I drew, not that one, the Two of Cups. I drew, next to it was the Lovers. As obstacles, I drew Five of Cups. And then outcome, the Sun. And I'm pretty sure there were more cards in there, just all like it might have been the 9 and 10 of cups. And I'm pretty sure the page of cups also came up in that reading as well. And I was just like overloaded with all these, the card of grief and loss and sadness, but then surrounded by just the lovers and the 2 of cups and the sun. And all I could think of was, holy, I said to him, I'm like, I'm not a medium. I don't do this. I was like, but if there has ever been a moment in my life where I feel like someone from the other side is present right now, it's right now. It was just, the cards were just glowing with love and comfort. And I felt like his wife was there with us, trying to, wrap her arms around him and show him that that there was still a connection, and there was still love, and that everything was going to be okay. And I've never had an experience like that ever. So that was new to me, and it was just, I, I, I don't know. I felt touched. I was just like, I don't know. I didn't even know what to say. It was just, there were no words. I was just like, wow, I think your wife is here, and she's here to tell you that she loves you, and that it's all going to be okay, and that she's okay. And I hope you got comfort out of that, but I never had that kind of a powerful experience with the cards before. Like, it was very unique, and so it stood out to me. So those were my 2 big moments of 2016, 2 big readings. Yeah, any comments, any questions? I'll be happy to answer without giving away too much information. Try to respect privacy of my clients, but I had to share those 2 stories. Yeah, because I'll always remember them, I think. Yeah, so leave me questions, leave me comments, share an experience you had, if you had a powerful moment with the cards, either for yourself or reading for someone else. Let me know. I'd love to, swap stories. Yeah, and that's it. That's day number 10. We're on to day 11 tomorrow. See you then. Ciao.